Staff, you ready to go? Council, everybody ready? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the El Cajon City Council meeting. The meeting is now called to order, and I will ask the city clerk to call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just for the record, all council members are present.
And would you please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a moment of silence? And Bob McClellan, would you be willing to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you. The city clerk posted orders of adjournment of the August 8th, 2017 meeting and the agenda of the September 12th, 2017 meeting in accordance with state law and council authority successor agency to the redevelopment agency policy. We have a few presentations on today's agenda and a proclamation for National Preparedness Month. I'd like to ask the city council to join me down below. Can we have Chief Stoll come down, please?
This is a City of El Cajon, California proclamation for National Preparedness Month, September 2017. Whereas National Preparedness Month creates an opportunity for every resident of the City of El Cajon to prepare their homes, businesses, and communities for any type of emergency, including natural disasters and potential terrorist attacks. The loss of life and property damage can be greatly reduced if appropriate emergency preparedness measures are taken before, during, and after a major emergency. And whereas El Cajon residents have experienced the effects of various disasters in the past, including devastating wildland wildfires, severe storms, and extreme summer heat, resulting in loss of life and damages costing millions of dollars, Southern California has experienced prolonged drought and extreme fire conditions that highlight the importance of disaster preparedness both as an individual and institutional levels. And whereas the aftermath of 2003, 2007, and 2014 firestorms in San Diego County demonstrated the necessity for careful and thorough emergency planning and preparedness among individuals, communities, and agencies locally. And whereas all residents of the City of El Cajon are encouraged to review emergency planning and preparedness information on the Ready's Campaign's website at www.ready.gov or on the Heartland Fire website at www.heartlandfire.org. This is in order to build an emergency supply kit, make a family emergency plan, and be informed about the different types of emergencies that could occur. Now, therefore, Bill Wells, Mayor for the City of El Cajon, together with the City Council, to hereby proclaim the month of September 2017 to be National Preparedness Month in the City of El Cajon. We urge all residents and businesses to develop their own emergency preparedness plan and to work together toward creating a more prepared society. Signed this 12th day of September 2017.
Well, thank you. Honorable Mayor, members of the City Council, thank you for having me here today. Before I get started, I would like to recognize Andy McKellar, who's sitting in the back row right there. Andy, would you please join me up here as well? Andy is our emergency preparedness coordinator for the entire Heartland Fire Department. Andy is really the backbone of our education and involvement in the community to make sure that each and every one of you is safe and that we are well prepared for the major disasters. Today, here in El Cajon, as well as all month long across the nation, we recognize the importance of training our emergency responders and educating our citizens on how best to prepare for response and recovery from a disaster. Given recent events, the timing of this proclamation is noteworthy. There have been only a few times in my career that I can remember, over 30 years, where we have simultaneously experienced tragic and devastating events such as the hurricanes in Texas and Florida, the major earthquake in Mexico, as well as the ravishing wildfires that are continuing to burn throughout the western half of the United States. From the large-scale training exercises conducted with our public safety professionals to the basic family and household preparedness education that we provide in our communities, your police and fire department are committed to being proactive and respond ahead of any significant disaster. So although we cannot predict when and what type of disaster will strike our region next, we can prepare by having an established response plan and educating the public on the basic necessities and information necessary to help minimize these impacts. So again, thank you very much for the proclamation today.
Thank you, Chief. City Council, Dr. Mickey, thank you for coming. Next, we have a proclamation for National IT Professionals Day, and I'd like to invite City Manager Doug Williford to join the council, please, for the presentation to the IT group. And if Sarah Diaz, the IT manager, and her team could please join us up front for the presentation, we appreciate that. Thank you, sir.
The whole team.
For any of you that work in organizations, modern organizations such as we, you know one basic thing: if something goes wrong with IT, you shut down your entire organization immediately, and you can't do anything worthwhile until it gets back up. So after food and water, IT comes a close third to those things. You have to have not just a professional group, but a group that is prepared to go over and above the call of duty at any time of the night or weekends, off hours, because that's always when things go wrong. And just like any other organization, we can't afford to be down even for a few minutes. So we are blessed to have just a tremendous team led by this tremendous leader, Sarah Diaz, who I was proud to put in this position just a few years ago, and along with this team, I think has really revolutionized where El Cajon is as a government in talking to its public and dealing with our citizens, as well as internally in City Hall, of how well we're able to do our work. So this is the one time out of the year we get to say, thank you, Sarah, thank you, IT team. You are fantastic. You do a great job. We're very proud of you. But mostly, we're just really thankful for you that we're here. So, thank you.
This is a proclamation for National IT Professionals Day. Whereas with technology's significant influence in our daily activities, both personal and professional, information technology, or IT professionals, play a vital role in our lives today and are unsung heroes of the modern business world. IT is defined as a broad subject concerned with all aspects of managing and processing information, especially with a large organization or company, a very wide definition that relates to a breadth of topics. And whereas IT professionals are called upon to not only troubleshoot our desktop computers, but in today's fast-paced climate, they are also experts in tablets, smartphones, laptops, and computerized phone systems. Their experience, education, and skill set are as varied and vast as the number of programs and equipment they seamlessly manipulate. And whereas in this constantly evolving digital field, IT professionals specialize in keeping our computer hardware and memory devices intact and operating properly, while enabling many of these products to communicate with each other. IT professionals can be described as software engineers, application developers, web developers, and so much more. With cybersecurity in the news daily, they are also tasked with keeping our information and equipment safe from would-be cyber criminals. And whereas instituted in 2015, IT Professionals Day is observed on the third Tuesday in September and possesses a well-earned place in the national list of observations. It is our honor to thank and applaud our City of El Cajon information technology professionals for all they do within the organization and for the services they provide to our residents. Now, therefore, Bill Wells, Mayor for the City of El Cajon, together with the City Council, do hereby proclaim the 19th day of September 2017 to be National Information Technology Professionals Day in the City of El Cajon. Signed this 12th day of September 2017.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Council, Doug and Graham, our management staff and administrative services, as well as the entire executive staff. I always say that a sign of us doing a good job is if you don't see us. And normally we like to stay a little bit more in the background. So while this makes many of us a little uncomfortable, we really do appreciate the fact that the city thought about us and have us here today. If you don't mind, since they are the unsung heroes, I would like to say the names of my crew. I'd like to start with Adrian Van Ravestein. Adrian. Darren Lynch. Damon Hyde. Thomas Willis. Franklin Reed. Raise your hand, Franklin. And last but not least, Angel Wilborn. Yeah, if you guys could circle back around. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you. It's actually really important that you're here. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You know, we've been around for a city about 100 years, and I don't want to brag, but we're one of the few administrations that actually acknowledged the IT department back in the, that's a joke, 100 years ago, no IT. Okay. Okay, that didn't work. All right. We are at agenda changes. Staff, do you have any agenda changes?
I do, Mr. Mayor. We're requesting that you remove item 15.2 on your closed session calendar from today's agenda. We will return at a later agenda with this item.
Okay, thank you. Council, any agenda changes? No. Then I'd like to make a motion to accept the agenda changes. Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0, Mayor.
Well, that brings us to consent items. Consent items are routine matters enacted by one motion according to the recommendation listed below. With the concurrence of the City Council, a council member or person in attendance may request discussion of a consent item at this time. Council members, do you wish to pull any of the consent items? Mr. Colascio.
1.14.
Anybody else? Mr. Goebel.
I'd like to pull 1.11.
Okay. All right. Well, then, I'd like to make a motion then to approve all of the consent items with the exception of 1.14 and 1.11. Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0 once again, with the exception of items 1.14, item 1.11, Mr. Mayor. Thank you.
All right. You know, I apologize. Were there any speaker cards for consent items?
We don't have any speaker cards for consent items, Mayor.
Thank you. All right, then, start with Mr. Goebel, 1.11.
I'd just like to communicate to staff my concern in the background of the item for the wastewater rate study, that there is, one of the things they'll be looking at is whether to put sewer charges on the property tax bill, which would occur twice a year, April and December. Because of the demographics of El Cajon, I believe that might create a hardship for some people. So I would like to express my concern over that option and just have that noted.
Mr. Mayor, concern noted. As some of the council will remember, this issue came up about 3 years ago, and council had rejected that. We're very well aware of that. This is a time for us to do the next generation study, so it's just a matter of topic, but we appreciate the concern you've expressed.
Mr. Goebel, of course, you can make it an item for future discussion if you'd like to.
No, let's let them do their study, and then if there's anything different, we'll address it at that time.
Thank you. Then let's make a motion then to approve consent item 1.11. Move to second, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0 once again, Mayor. Thank you.
Mr. Colacho.
This is for item 1.14. When I was reading through the report, it talked about a service performed by PPC, and then I think the amount initially was $48,460, and I think they're coming back doing a change order, asking for $217,840. So I think that's like $169 and some change in a change order. I have a slight concern about that, and I also wanted to ask, how come we don't put the change order out for an RFP?
To answer your second question first, is because this is specifically for a consultant that's already under hire to the city. To answer your first question, it was actually the staff that was asking for the change order, not the consultant. As the staff report outlined a little bit, the initial work was limited in scope. We did believe that there was going to be more contract management oversight work needed. We didn't know how much in June, but we wanted to get started with the project, which we did. Now that we're into the project a little bit, it has become clearer to staff exactly how much work is going to be needed. So we contacted our existing consultant and said we wanted to expand their services, and after a certain amount of negotiation discussion, this was the amount that we felt was appropriate for those expanded services, and that's why we're bringing it to the council. But to reiterate, it was really the staff that's making the proposal, not the consultant in this case.
So, okay. So if PPC was contracted by the city initially for this amount, and then staff and them reached a certain agreement amount, $48,460, and they basically underbid or something of that nature, or miscalculated how big the project size was? Or
no, the staff realized that we were probably, although we didn't know in June, that we were going to need more than that. The $48,000 was enough to well get us started, which it successfully did. So they didn't underbid. They bid what we asked them to bid, and it was appropriate for a certain period. The bigger amount is our analysis, which is just within the past several weeks now, of how much it's going to take for them to finish the entire project the way we want them to, as far as what their work is. So it was our reanalysis going back to them and asking for a second number.
Understood. Would it make more sense to, now that we know the scope of the work and everything like that, to put it out for RFP right now? Because then it would be like if I was doing this on my own business, I wouldn't just stick with one person. I would get bids from different.
I do understand. It's an unusual situation. Normally, the entirety of a project, including this aspect of it, would be bid up front at the time. The reason it wouldn't make sense to go out to RFP right now is we would basically have to stop the animal shelter construction, waiting for that process to go through. A typical RFP would be 6-8 weeks and then some negotiation after that, and we just didn't think it was worth doing it. We feel we have a good enough handle on what needs to be done, plus they're performing well so far, so we have no cause to really look for another one. But it is, I admit, an unusual way to do this. Normally, we don't come back with a heightened project like this. The kinds of change orders, which is what you were originally speaking to, the more traditional ones, is where the contractor is saying, hey, they ran into something they didn't expect, they need more money to fix it. That's a very traditional change order. That wasn't the situation here.
I see. I would, and I don't know, I've never pulled a consent item before, so I would need some guidance formality-wise, but I would be concerned with the $169,000 difference, whether it came from staff or the contractor. I think at this point for me, that delay in 6 to 8 weeks of doing a RFP is well worth it, because we don't know if we're going to get somebody that comes in at 90 grand and then we just save, $70,000 or something. So how do I go about and not?
Well, I think
The mayor will hold a vote.
what you should do is make a motion to reject the item and see how the vote goes.
Okay. Okay, I make a motion to, would I make a motion to reject the item or to modify it with the opinion of an RFP?
Your motion would be to deny the item and direct staff to return with the RFP.
I'd like to make a motion to reject item 1.14 and direct staff to come back with an RFP.
Is there a second? I'm sorry, I see no second.
A comment.
Yes.
If we were to stop this process now, my understanding is because of the hurricanes, building costs are escalating at this moment because of the demand that's going to be going into Houston and Florida. If we stop work on the animal shelter, do we risk increased materials cost as a result of current market conditions?
I think we always risk increased costs.
Given the extraordinary nature of what's happening in the past couple of weeks in the
I
country.
mean, I would think that would increase the risk, but, it's like the stock market, right? You look at it, forecast it the best you can, it's either a risk that things will go up or they'll go down. I think the bigger problem is that we've promised to deliver this animal shelter. It's needed. I don't see that we're going to get significant benefit out of delaying. And I think I accept the city manager's proposal that this is the best course of action.
I'll ask Mr. Epperson, Director of Public Works, to respond to Councilmember Goebel's question.
Dirk Epperson, for the record, Director of Public Works. Councilmember, it's hard to tell at this time the exact impact of the hurricanes and the disasters that have happened in Florida and Texas, but it's an option, and it could happen that contract and construction costs could go up and escalate because of this. It could be a resource thing as well, so any delays could potentially have that. It could be affected by materials and their delivery here. So with that being said, continuing to move forward with the project would be prudent at this time.
I would agree. The public has been clamoring for an animal shelter for a long time. Propo funds fully cover this cost, so it's already paid for. I'm concerned that any savings might be offset by increased costs, as you described, so I would say keep going.
So the question at hand, let me stop soon. Gary?
Well, putting on my hat as a real estate appraiser for the last 33 years, I've cost out literally thousands of single-family homes and office buildings and industrial buildings. And what I found is that whenever there's a natural disaster, market forces enter the equation, and they're going to be buying an awful lot of 2x4s and a lot of concrete, and a lot of people are going to be going to Florida and Texas to rebuild all these homes, and time is of the essence there, and we will be outbid by the people living in Florida and Texas that need a place to live. So I think the savings, if any, because I have complete confidence in the staff, they're experts at this, they do this a lot, that any savings that may show up could be absolutely overwhelmed by the cost increase by delaying the project. And just a matter of market economics. When you need more 2x4s, the price of 2x4s go up, so does labor, and that could be substantial increases. So I'm going to support this.
All right, so right now we have a motion on the table.
I have another question. This is both for Steve and Gary. Where are the materials coming from for building this site?
I would ask city staff to answer that question.
Okay, so the answer is that you don't know, and so suggesting that it's coming from Texas is just hyperbole. So it's just like this, folks. If you guys are doing some work at your house and some guy gives you a price for concrete driveway, and then the price goes up because either you misread how much you wanted in yardage or they gave you a different price, you wouldn't just go with that person. You would go and price it out with other places. And that's responsible government, too, responsible with your money. So you guys can vote however you want, but that's the way I see it, because that's the way I want to use your money like I would use my own money.
So we have you want to continue?
My comment on this one is, it's been my observation over the last 33 years of being in this business that it's actually a world market right now, and certainly a national market. And concrete that's made in Arizona could just as easily go to Texas or Florida. It's actually whoever bids the most.
On that point, then you have to let the market decide, because then if you go get another bid, and let's say somebody gives you a price to do your driveway at home for 50 grand, and somebody else comes in there and says 30 grand, well, then you know where the market is. So I don't know about the conversation about a world market, but you'd have to have RFPs, because that's going to tell you where everybody's at, and you have to get a second bid and a third bid and so on. So.
Well, it's an interesting conversation, but at this point we have a motion on the table, and I'm looking for a second. There appears to be no second, so I would like to make a motion to approve the item. Second. Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0, Mayor. In addition to that, we'll note for the record.
It's not 5-0, it's 4-1.
Correction, 4-1 with Mr. Kalasha voting no, and we also note on the record that Mr. Kalasha voted the previous motion. It will be so recorded as well.
Thank you. All right, at this time we're at public comment. Any person may address a matter within the jurisdiction of the City Council, Housing Authority, successor agency to the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency that is not on the agenda. Comments relating to items on today's agenda are to be taken at the time that the item is heard. State law prohibits discussion or action on items not on the agenda. However, council, authority, and agency members may briefly respond to statements or questions, and an item may be placed on a future agenda. Darrell, do we have any cards under public comment?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. We actually have 6 speaker cards for public comment, and we'll start with Mr. Richard Graydon. Mr. Graydon, please come up.
Hello, Mayor.
Hi, Mr. Graydon. Welcome.
People and others here. Well, I'm coming back with a lot of the same things. We have the East County Performing Arts Center. This thing has been going on now for I don't know how long. And I thought this would be taken care of, but it doesn't seem to be. If you can't get the people you're working with, then you get some others. We are a city of 100,000 people, and we need to have this. And what it is doing is messing up. And I know most of you like to see performances. And so we need to have that. We can't just wait. They didn't wait in Texas. They didn't wait in Florida. Were we going to wait? And then the other thing, we have a lot of homeless people. And as I've been reading and as I've been seeing in the newspaper and everything, different cities and different areas have been working out things. I don't see in El Cajon us doing that. And the thing is, we've got, on Main Street, we've got about 6 acres. We have a Christian group, and there are people, I've talked to some of the homeless, and some of these people do not want to be in any way associated with them, to be told or anything like that. So what we can do, and since I know a lot of people are not fervent Christians or Muslims or Jews, we need to have something where everyone, we can have either tents, we can put up structures and everything, and get some of these people off. A lot of them have problems, but a lot of them have backgrounds and could go back to those things. But if we're not going to do anything, we're going to have the homeless, and the homeless is going to grow. I know some people. I was in the Army, and when I came back, I saw people with PTSD, and I know. And as I said before, I've talked with some of them. So we need to do something. And if we don't do anything, we're going to just get more. And we're going to have problems. Thank you.
For the sake of the public, I'd like to tell you that we are very close to finishing the contract with Performing Arts Center to have the best management company in the entire world manage it. I think it's worth another couple of weeks to see that through. And in response to the homeless issue, I would like to point out that, at least in my opinion and many other people's opinion, El Cajon is the most active and proactive city in the entire region when it comes to helping homeless. We have been very innovative, and we continue to do so.
One comment, Mr. Mayor. The city of El Cajon has actually spent more on helping the homeless than all the other East County cities combined, and we currently have a 250-member task force consisting of many, many different organizations that are working on the homeless problem, and you'll see the results here coming up shortly.
Thanks, Gary. Next.
The next speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Mr. Tom Courtney. Mr. Courtney, please.
And Mr. Courtney, you've brought a chart for you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Mayor.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. That sounds interesting.
The chart. Good afternoon, members of council,
Monica, would you mind holding that up for him?
members of the city. Monica. Thank you. My name is Tom Courtney. I serve as the executive director for the Anybody Can Youth Foundation, also known as the ABC Youth Foundation. It was founded some 60 years ago by world boxing champion and San Diego icon Archie Moore. Some of you may know that name. Archie was the light heavyweight champion for some 10 years, then went up in weight class in 1963 at age in his 40s and fought Rocky Marciano, fought a young Muhammad Ali. Archie died in 1998, but he, inside and outside the ring, he wanted to change lives of young students. He foresaw the coming of a drug and gang culture, and he told President Eisenhower in the 50s he wanted to do something about it. Yes, Archie passed in 1998, but he passed the mantle of leadership on to his son, President and CEO of the ABC Youth Foundation, and heavily known in the community. Mr. Billy Moore sits in the back. Billy? Last year, 2 years ago, we came up with a plan to throw 100,000 punches from the heart. That was the title of it. We wanted to have a campaign theme of punching out racism, gang violence, and mistrust of the police in the community. That's a sensitive subject. When Billy began the campaign, it was his father was being honored, his legacy downtown. It was the very week, August of 2016, when terrible events occurred in El Cajon. It became the flashpoint of a national story, a great fracturing of mistrust. Billy being honored that night downtown at the Jerome's Warehouse building, now being redeveloped, decided to road test this theme. And he took out this placard and said, the ABC Youth Foundation campaign titled 1 Million Punches from the Heart, punching out racism, gang violence, and mistrust of the police. Gentlemen, he did not get to the second point where that community came alive and came up and gave a standing ovation to see this come back. Well, as a prologue, this coming Friday, September 15th, with the wonderful support of El Cajon Police Chief Jeff Davis, El Cajon Fire Chief Colin Stoll, and the El Cajon Superintendent of School, Cajon Valley Superintendent of School, Dr. David Miyashiro, we are going to have our 11th presentation of 1 Million Punches from the Heart. Guess what? We're up over 415,000 punches from the heart, young students, kids in juvenile hall, members of the community. On Friday at 10 a.m. at the fire station on El Cajon, Lexington Avenue and Magnolia, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, 103rd graders are going to come in and assemble. And they're going to punch and put on boxing gloves and hit that bag alongside of your public safety officials, the firefighters and the police officers, the community leaders, their own teachers. We think it's a wonderful, wonderful time to do this. The very next day, Saturday, same place, the Fire District 6 at Lexington and Magnolia, from 8 a.m. to 12 noon. We're going to be an open all-city event. We have people coming from the soccer team that just finished second in a national tournament. We have people from downtown want to bring their students out to this. We are so pleased to be able to do this for your good city of El Cajon. That I know that thanks to the chief, you've had this flyer come out to you. We want to say thank you for El Cajon coming together to do this. We know you're all very busy people, but we hope that you can come over there, watch these young children count their punches, hold that bag, and see this epiphany that comes to them, this cathartic experience of punching out racism, gang violence, mistrust of the police, 1 million punches from the heart. We're so very grateful for your support, for your attendance. We look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
Thank you for doing that. Mr. Moore, would you stand up and wave to everybody? I'm sure we all appreciate what you do. Thank you, gentlemen. We really appreciate what you're doing.
Rebecca Basson, Ms. Basson, please.
School Board Member Basson.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Hi again, my name is Rebecca Basson. I am a board member for the La Mesa Spring Valley School District. I also work at Foothills Christian Church, but right now I am here as a member of the Homeless Task Force. I just wanted to share some success stories that I have experienced, and this is only my experience, not to speak of the successes that I am very sure are happening with the other groups and the rest of the whole Homeless Task Force. Recently, I was able to collaborate with Karen Shelton of PCG, Reverend David Madsen of Welcome Church of El Cajon, and also Captain Sean Kelsey of the Salvation Army to send a woman and her 4 children who, due to unfortunate circumstances, became homeless after they moved from Mississippi to here. And in collaboration with Karen, Reverend David, and Captain Sean Kelsey, we were able to successfully send this woman and her 4 children back to Mississippi, where they had a home, therefore getting them off the streets out here. And that is our goal, is to help stop homelessness as much as we can. Also, you have recently funded Connect EC, which is a mobile app that I and several other peers designed as part of the leadership program for part of the leadership program. And we have had success with that already, even in its beta stages. We were able to help a young man who had recently become homeless. We sent him the link for the app. He used it and found somewhere to stay. And so I just wanted to say thank you as a member of the Homeless Task Force for your support, for the finances, and for your encouragement as we as a city and also as East County, a community, continue to do everything we can to help the homeless.
Thank you very much.
The next speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Bonnie Price. Ms. Price.
Hello, Mayor and Council. I, too, have a question about homeless, and that relates to what's happening in San Diego with the hepatitis outbreak. Would that be a problem here in El Cajon? Do we have adequate hand washing stations and also open public lavatories for people who are homeless?
So it's a good thing you brought that up. I recently had a meeting with Diane Jacob, and the county and our city are going to work in combination to bring hand washing stations, power washing of the streets, and hepatitis A vaccines. So that's in the process. Our city manager is working on that right now.
And if I could just add, all our parks already have hand washing stations. We met with county staff when they called us a couple of weeks ago to talk about this issue. Looked at Wells Park and other major parks. They were offering them. We already had them there. They wanted to add one at the county library across the street, which is a great idea. That's on their property. They're going to take care of that. PBED is operated over by the porta potties, the public bathrooms there in the plaza, a hand washing station as well. The county was willing to replace their own there. It's a little bit bigger, and I think it's going to be there more often. So the city's in pretty good shape, and as the mayor said in his meeting with Supervisor Jacob, going to the next level, which we're going to engage the county in to assist us with some power washing of streets.
And vaccinations.
Yes.
Good, thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Stanley Sexton, please. Mr. Sexton.
Hello, Mr. Sexton, welcome.
Yes, I'm back to talk about Wells Park, and I'd like to start off by saying there's two good things I've seen happen lately. One was whoever decided to paint the curb on the street outside Wells Park red to get a medal. So it's got all the junk cars off the street, and it's made a big difference. So whoever decided to paint that curb red so there's no parking there should get a medal there. Second is there's a policeman who monitors Wells Park almost all the time in a police pickup. This guy is conscientious, knows what he's doing, really takes care of the place, so he should be accommodated. And since you put the horses there, I don't know if everybody knows, but they have horses there now, policemen on horses. This is really outstanding, and I think it also interfaces with the public. So I see a lot of kids, all kinds of other people interfacing with the policemen on. So that's good for the police department. But there is a couple of things that still need to be looked at. One is, I have some pictures here, is we're not enforcing the law on shopping carts. These things are left all over the street, in the parks, and you can look at these pictures. There's dozens and dozens. There is a law that says the shopping cart shouldn't be there. And so I think, I don't know how you enforce it, you know. I don't know if there's an organization, the police department or whatever. But you can look at it, it's out of hand. And what it does is you start getting these concaves of people, and you get what some people refer to as crackheads. You got all these guys on bicycles. They look like they're repainting bicycles. I don't know if they're stolen, whatever, taking apart, redoing, and painting them in the park with spray paint. So those are a couple of things, but overall, it's greatly improved. I am greatly surprised that what happened in that short period of time.
I think you came and talked to us about this several
times.
So I think
maybe a month or two ago.
Maybe you're the one who should get the medal because you started the process.
The police department does a great job there.
You can get caught for it. That's it.
But I'd like to leave you with these pictures, though. You can see the number of shopping carts.
Yeah.
You can make them out at Target, 99-cent store, whatever. I mean, these businesses, those shopping carts belong to them. They can go back to the business.
You make a good point, and this is a work in process. So,
Okay.
Thank you for.
I'm looking forward. I didn't believe when I first come here, but I've seen the great improvement in Wells Park.
Thank you for acknowledging the police department. They're doing an excellent job.
The last speaker, Mayor, is Mr. Tim McDougall. Mr. McDougall.
Mr. McDougall. How are you, sir? Welcome.
Good. Thank you. Good afternoon, Mayor Wells and city representatives. My name is Tim McDougall. I'm here with my father, Lynn McDougall, and we are both Rotarians for many years, and I just wanted to put on record that this year is the end of, this is the Rotary Club of El Cajon's 90th year in existence. And with that, we've done numerous community service organizations, provided funding for numerous things. I'm not going to get into that. But with this, I would like to say that we would like to donate a 4-face clock in the downtown area, in the promenade area, and work with staff on wherever it should be placed or where they think it should be. But the El Cajon Rotary would like to put that and give that to celebrate 90 years with the city and El Cajon Rotary Service.
Wow, thank you so much. Well, don't leave quite yet.
I just want to mention, Tim, that item's coming up in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
But just, thank you. Please tell everybody at the club thank you from us. That is such a thoughtful and generous gift, and I know everybody's going to be excited. And I got to tell you, my wife has been after me to get a big clock somewhere for like 6 years now, and now I can go home and tell her, yeah, I finally did it. It's all because of me.
You did it. You can take the credit. There you go.
Well, thank you so much. And Mr. McDougall, would you stand up and wave to everybody? He's been involved in El Cajon for so long.
38 years.
Thank you so much, and I guess we're going to revisit this in just a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Lynn McDougall was a city attorney for 38 years. He was city attorney when I got elected, and he kept me out of trouble, so I never got in trouble. He congratulated me on that. He always thought I'd get in trouble but he kept me out of trouble. Thanks, Lynn.
Are we done with speakers?
That's correct, Mr. Mayor. That's all the speakers we have today.
All right. Well, it's not surprising to see a packed house because this is the most exciting thing a person could do on a Tuesday afternoon. But I did notice a lot of young people here, and I'm guessing that you're either being punished for some reason or you're part of a class. And we like to have you stand up, and Bob wants to embarrass you a little bit. So can everybody stand up? And
No. We have a program every time that we have students here, and this is required, it's not optional. You have to come down in front and stand in front of the speaker's thing. Tell us your name, what school you go to, and what you want to do after you get out of school. So it's not optional. Your teacher will be watching you on television. You'll be on television tomorrow night at 7 o'clock on Channel 24. So you better come down now and stand up for the punishment of letting us all know who you are.
Ooh. Okay, everybody, I'll need everybody to be quiet so we can hear all the students. Hello, young man. What's your name?
My name is Omar Luna, and I go to Valhalla High School.
And what are you going to do when you get out?
I don't know yet.
Okay. The rest of you have a few minutes to think about it. Okay.
Public speaker, probably.
Well, Gary, thank you. So, Gary wants to say something.
Well, just a comment that we're just like you, and I was just like you back in 1972. I was a senior at Santana High School, and I had to go to the El Cajon City Council meeting when it was over in another building. So remember, you guys are going to grow up, and some of you will probably be up here. So don't be nervous.
All right. Thank you, son.
Okay, thank you.
All right, next.
My name is Junior Yono. I go to Valhalla, and I'm going to go to community college.
Nice.
Great.
All right.
My name is Marvin Ormez, and I go to Valhalla, and I'm going to go off to community college.
Okay.
Great.
My name is Michael Shamoon, and I go to Valhalla. I'm going to go to a community college and hopefully transfer to a four-year university after.
Fantastic.
What do you want to do when you get out of college?
Some sorts of doctor, anything, and
Wonderful.
maybe an anesthesiologist.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Good occupation.
Hi, I'm Daniel Raposti. When I go to Valhalla High School as well, and when I get out of high school, I want to make music.
You want to what?
Make music.
Oh, wonderful. We need that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Daniel.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Marta Georges. I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to be an electrical engineer.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Madeline Haugen, and I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to major in criminal justice.
Very good.
You talk to the chief afterwards. He'll start signing you up.
He's back there. You can talk to him.
Hello, I'm Sky Mitchell, and I would like to major in child development.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Hi, I'm Brian Madrez. I go to Valhalla, and I want to be into like the doctor field.
Okay.
I'm Josiah Bennett, and I want to major in sports broadcasting.
Very good.
Hi, my name is Chloe Collier, and I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to do synchronized swimming in college.
Very good.
Hi, my name is Carol Hanna. I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to be an accountant.
Okay.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Rosales. I'm from Valhalla High School, and I have no idea what I'm going to be.
Neither do we. So.
Hi, I'm Connor Witherspoon, and I plan on becoming a biomedical engineer.
Very good. Congratulations.
Hi, my name is Danny, and I want to study international business.
Okay. Everybody, if you can keep it down, I want to hear what everybody has to say. All right. What you want to study what?
I would like to study international business.
Nice. Okay.
Good.
Hi, I'm Tasia Martinez, and I go to Valhalla High School. I'd like to be a nurse practitioner.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mariam Al-Obeidi. I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to be a lawyer.
Okay. Very good.
I'm Jenna Al-Safar. I'm going to go off to community college, and I go to Valhalla High School.
Okay.
What do you want to do after?
Undecided.
Okay.
Hello, I'm Masara Salman. I go to Valhalla High School, and I would like to be a marriage and family therapist.
Really?
Very good.
Hi, I'm Lord Fatuhi. Also, none of them mentioned while we're here. We're here for a government class. We're required to take this. And I'd like to go into neurology.
Very good.
Nice.
Hi, my name is Dalia Gonzalo, and I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to become a cardiologist.
Fantastic. We all need that.
Hello, my name is Ann Habib, and I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to major in biochem.
Very good.
Hello, my name is Ahmed Pallet. I go to Valhalla, and I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm interested in math.
Very
good. Great.
Hi, my name is Dunia Georges. I go to Valhalla, and I want to become a teacher, but I don't know what type of teacher I want to be. I still haven't decided yet.
Very
Okay. Well, good luck.
Hello, my name is Diana Toshi. I go to Valhalla, and I want to be an optometrist.
Nice.
Okay.
Hello, my name is Alessandra Galino, and I want to be a civil engineer.
Very good.
Hi, my name is Jacqueline, and I'm hoping to go to a four-year college to major in criminology.
Very good.
Hello, my name is Trent Sakuti, and I want to be a computer systems engineer.
Nice.
Wonderful.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah Wilson, and I want to pursue a degree in mechanical engineering, and I go to Valhalla High School.
Good.
All right.
I'm Nick Carini. I go to Valhalla High School. I'd like to major in computer science.
Very good.
Great.
I'm Jason Dutro. I go to Valhalla, and when school's over, I'll probably take a nap.
I'm Jordan Remington, and I'm going to go to community college and figure it out from there.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm Isa Hanna. I go to Valhalla, and I want to be a petroleum engineer.
What kind of engineer?
Petroleum.
Oh, great.
We're going to need a lot of that now after the hurricane.
My name is Finn Nguyen, and I go to Valhalla, and I want to do something in technology.
Very good.
I'm Tyler Gibson, and I go to Valhalla, and I like to major in environmental studies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm Anna Johnson, and I'd like to major in education.
Okay.
Very good.
I'm Carlos Arroyo. I'd like to be a software designer.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm Malak Mikhail. I go to Valhalla, and I want to go into medical.
Good.
My name is Laura Petrus. I go to Valhalla, and I'm going to community college, and I'll know what I want to be from there.
Nice.
Hi, my name's Tiara Edge. I go to Valhalla High School, and I would like to be a cosmetologist.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Denise. I go to Valhalla, and I want to be an animator or a teacher.
Okay.
I'm Nino Cianadam, and I go to Valhalla, and I would like to be a computer science engineer.
Very good.
My name is Brandon Garza, and I go to Valhalla, and I want to be a computer engineer.
Very good.
Hi, my name's Chris Shamoon. I go to Valhalla High School. I want to major in business.
Good. We need that.
Hi, I'm Adrian Rocha. I want to be a photographer and a rapper.
Hi, my name is Sunbeer Tung. I go to Valhalla High School, and I want to go into law.
Very good.
My name is Kenneth Crowley, and I don't know, and I go to Valhalla High School, and I don't know what I want to major in yet, but I definitely want a comfortable lifestyle for me and my family. So.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Natalie Isho, and I'm from Valhalla High School, and I like to study in the medical field.
Wonderful.
Hi, I'm Bethany Shia, and I would like to become an elementary school teacher.
Good.
Hi, I'm Fiona Isha. I go to Valhalla High School, and I'm planning to apply for Ford University.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Lauren Pfeiffer, and I go to Valhalla High School, and I either want to be a behavioral analysis or a forensic analysis.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Victoria Villegas. I go to Valhalla, and I want to be a nurse.
Wonderful.
My name's Natalia Rizuki. I go to Valhalla, and I'm still not sure what I want to do in life.
Okay.
My name is Rudy Sanchez. I go to Valhalla, and I'm enlisting in the Navy.
Good, thank you.
My name's Hunter. I go to Valhalla, and I plan to major in media arts.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Mustafa, and I want to be a dentist.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Basil Kasim, and I either want to be a mechanical engineer or an athletics trainer.
Very good.
Hello, my name is Brad Sipes, and I like to be an electrical engineer.
Very good.
Hi, I'm Abigail Madigan. I go to Valhalla, and I want to major in nursing.
Hi, I'm Lexi Schmier, and I plan to major in psychology.
Very good. Thank you
right.
all. You all need to be complimented because when I was your age, that would have scared me to death. Now, is there any one of you that didn't stand up and come up here? It's okay to rat on your friends. If anybody didn't come up, we need to have them come up now. Is there anybody that didn't come?
Looks like you got them all.
I think we got them all. No. Hey.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
All right.
You're in the corner. Come on.
But if you hide now, you have to sing a song, too. That's you didn't know about that part of it.
Hi, my name is Michelle O'Grady. I plan on going to community college after high school and then transferring over to hopefully SDSU. And I don't know, growing up, I was really interested in criminal justice, but I feel like, because I wanted to be like an FBI agent, but I'm not very physically fit, so I feel like I couldn't do that. But I don't know, there's lots of stuff that I'm interested in, but I'm not exactly sure what I want to do.
That's kind of what college is for.
Huh?
Sometimes it's what college is for.
Yeah, definitely.
I'll figure that out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is there anybody else that's...
Yeah, nicely done.
Thank you for being brave and coming up after you got picked up there. Thank you all, every one of you students. Congratulations. You've got the rest of your life in front of you. Make the best of it and do something worthwhile with your lives. It'll be worthwhile for you to do that, and you'll be appreciated. Thank you.
Just curious, I went to Valhalla. I was class of 2001. Who's the government teacher there now? Wait, hold on. One at a time. What is it? Listen, I was 2001, so I don't think anybody's still there. But I had Mr. Moss, and then you guys. All right. We got one right there.
Hey, thanks all for coming. This is really important that you came today, and hope you have a good time. All right, we're going to move on to written communications. There are no written communications, and there are no public hearings. There are several administrative reports, and we'll start with a staff report on item 4.1, status report of Solterra Senior Residence And if you could please tell us.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 2 meetings ago on July 25th, the City Council heard some public speakers, residents who lived at Saltira, outlining a number of concerns and complaints about conditions at the senior housing project that's about 5 years old now. A few days after that, we got a more detailed written list of those to work off of. We went immediately out to the complex and did some code compliance work quickly. But I think more importantly, we were able to meet with Saltira's senior resident, Chambers Senior Residence LP, Affirmed Housing, and Solari Enterprises, who is the actual management group out there, and to go over these concerns. It was what I think a very successful meeting. We have tried to keep the residents as up to date as we can, and so at this point, we think this is our basically final reporting out to the City Council unless something else occurs. We explained to the project owners and the management group what the expectations of the city was. They had seen the letter, the correspondence from the residents, and what we explained to them is the city had a financial interest in this project going back 5 years ago. It was built and approved as a really outstanding project, and that it was our interest and, quite frankly, our expectation that it would remain so, and that things that needed to be done to return to that level ought to be done. They returned last week with a pretty detailed action plan that included things such as identified code violations being corrected, ordering a new television set for the community room, ordered new cable for the community rooms, installed or reinstalled a hose at the garden, cleaned out the garden. Importantly, I think more importantly, we'll schedule monthly socials and regular meetings beginning this month with the residents, and we will be following up with the company as well to make sure that all these things have been implemented. This, Mr. Mayor, goes into much greater detail with the attachments that are in your report today. We'd be happy to answer any question. I know we have some of the residents with us here this afternoon. That concludes my report.
They had mentioned that there's some safety problems with lighting. Was that also addressed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do we have any?
I do have a couple of cards, Mr. Mayor. We have 2 cards. Ms. Deborah Browner, item 4.1. Ms. Hyden.
Hello, good afternoon, Mr. Mayor and City Councilman. I'm Deborah Bronner, and I went to, I would like to thank you all for everything you've done so far for Solterra. I'm a senior resident there, and I'm disabled, and I'm still really concerned about the security issue. I know we're supposed to have a scheduled meeting this Friday, but there's a general mistrust between the tenants and the management. We get told a lot of things that never happen, or a lot of things just aren't true in their report back to us. And, for example, under security, they said there was only 1 break-in. I know in the 131 building, there was a hole in our back gate that went where homeless or druggies had broken into and were doing lewd things in our garage. And that hole did not get repaired until just recently. And it's not correctly repaired, but the hole was that they could reach in and open the gate door and get in our parking structure. And that homeless people posing as FedEx workers were ringing the buzzer to me exactly and said they were FedEx, and I let them in the building, but I had an odd feeling, and I went to the elevator and I ordered the woman who was out of it completely to get out of the building, or I was calling the police. And 2 other men were brought and told to go to my apartment where I lived that I didn't let in the building. And I'm very concerned about the security living there, especially with this high rent increase. And I know we'll just get told they can't renew it because of 1 incident. Well, there's many incidents where we have to fight off the homeless or the druggie people, and it should. And I mean, on a daily basis, I'm telling people to get away from our gates, stop loitering there, and the gates just open up. And my suggestion is they put one of the fobs that we get into the building inside of our our garage gate, so we have to open it again, and that would not let others into our gates, our big car gates. But I really hope and pray that we get a security guard back at Solterra Senior Living.
Well, this sounds like a fluid situation. I think you may have changed significantly. Might I suggest you give them the benefit of the doubt? Let's see how things go for a couple of months. If you're
Yes.
unhappy, you can always come back here whenever.
Well, thank
we're always
you.
going to be around. So,
Thank you for what you've done. Thank
and
you.
thank you.
The next speaker, Mr. Mayor, is Evelyn Outside. Ms. Outside.
Long time to do things these
That's
days.
okay. No hurry. Welcome.
Welcome. My name is Evelyn Adside, and I'm also a senior at senior resident at Salterra Community. And I just want to thank all of the council members and the mayor and all the people that have reached out, listened to us, and that are helping us. Salterra has made some big improvements, but they're the small ones. And the big ones, they're not addressing, and we're told that entering our apartments is not something that the city council can do, but it's something that's in our lease, and Salterra can do something about it. So I'm hoping that they will when we get together and have a meeting with them.
I hope so, too. I hope
Yeah,
they're.
because it's just, I mean, I've written a letter here that I want to give to Douglas Williford, and it's about one of my experiences with a person coming into, like the manager coming in, not manager, but the maintenance person coming into my apartment when I'm sitting there not expecting anyone, and the key goes in and the door opens.
Sure.
And so I'm hoping that now we tackle some of the big events that we need to tackle, just like Debbie was saying about our security. Now, the last council meeting that I attended, you mentioned the big increase of homeless people in our community. I love El Cajon. I'm glad to be here. I think it's beautiful. I've watched it grow since I was a teenager and used to come over here and watch the Hells Angels ride their motorcycles and all that. You know, I love El Cajon, but El Cajon has its particular problems. And where we're located, directly behind Hometown Buffet and by the parking lot for the credit union, my bedroom faces that, so I'm sitting up watching TV and watching a movie of drugs being sold, prostitutes having sex with people right out in public to make money. Right underneath where I sleep, there's the moans and groans of this one particular person. This is her spot where she makes her money. Our garage is being broken into, and when you break into the garage, you're not going into the garage, you're going into the entire building. Because once you get into that garage, the door that leads to the building, there's no lock there. So we find people in our, sleeping in our stairwells, just in the building, period. It's not safe.
Have you asked the owners to install a lock on that door?
We have asked, but I was told that the fire department is saying no, not to put it on that door, because if there's a fire and somebody needs to get in or out, they can't do it,
That may be
which
so,
makes sense. But that's the reason we need security, right? We sit out there, or if we're doing laundry, our laundry room is small. If we are doing laundry, I'm sorry, it's blinking red here.
No, that's okay.
If
Go
we're
ahead, you can
doing-
turn the red light off.
Okay, if we're doing laundry, there's only enough, especially with a walker, we all have something, you know? It's not enough room for two people in the laundry room, so it's just more convenient if somebody goes outside. But it gets dark at 5 o'clock. And so we used to have security coming around. They'd introduce themselves to us. We knew them.
So you had a security, when you first moved in, you had a security guard?
We
there?
had security, but now this is saying that we don't have security because we don't have any incidents. We have incidents on a daily basis, if not more. We have, I cannot tell you the amount of people we're trying to keep out of our building and from stealing things out of our garage, threatening us. We used to have security that would walk us to our cars if we had to park on the streets. And now we don't have that, and there's people all around us that are threatening because, they see me with a walker hobbling to the gate. They know that that's a way in. So I have to be very careful, look around, and if somebody's standing near me, I walk away, or I just, have to wait until that person passes before I can even go in to my apartment complex, not my apartment. And then some of the people that don't speak English very well, if somebody is yelling at them to open at the very front gate, there's a computer there that says, the name of the person, and if you push that button, it'll page that person. But people push those buttons until somebody lets them in.
Well, I've got to keep things moving along, but
Okay.
I get exactly what you're saying. The security is a problem. I'd like you to go to your meeting with them, talk to them about it, and have a representative keep in touch with our city manager and let them know what's going on. There's some things that we might be able to help with, some things we may not be able to help with, but we can keep a dialogue going.
I understand, but I did want you to know that some of the things, the responses that they gave were just a little bit not
I think this is a work in process.
I think it is too.
If I could address this a little bit, we directly address the issue of security with the management firm and the property owners, and they know that we think it's an issue. They committed to us, they'd improve security. We have given them flexibility about how to do that, but if it fails, then we will know that.
Like I said, I think it's a work in process, and I wouldn't despair. I think there's lots of options still available to us, so let's just keep working together.
Okay, we will.
All right, thank you,
We
ma'am.
will. We just want to express what's really happening.
No, I appreciate it. There would be no way we would know if you hadn't told us.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, ma'am. And thank all of you residents. Thanks. Okay, is that all the public speakers on this?
For this item, Mr. Mayor, that's correct.
Okay. Anybody want to discuss this or make a motion? Mr. Pasha?
Is there a way we can invite the management team for Solterra over here, or even the owners? Now, obviously, we can't force them to come, but to come here, I just feel like the conversation that we would have from the dais here, them from the podium, would be a lot different than when we go there, and then we say, here are the list of things, here are the complaints, let's work together. If we had a list and we tell them here, and then we would hear it from the horse's mouth, because these fine people have been coming here for, I think, like a month straight or 2 months, okay? And I know it's a work in progress, it takes time, but we should invite them to come so we can hear what they have to say.
We could. What they had to say is in writing, and it's in your staff
I saw
report.
that.
And so, yeah, we can invite them back if the city council so wishes.
Yeah, because I feel like it's easier for them to write it down than it is for them to come and say it here to everybody here, knowing that it's videotaped and all this stuff. Yep.
Any other discussion on the item? All right, so we're just looking for acceptance of the administrative report. I'll make a motion to that. Just a second. Please vote.
Motion passes 5-0, Mayor.
Thank you. Next, we will entertain the report on item 4.2, donation of 4-dial clock from the Rotary Club of El Cajon. City Manager, will you please tell us about this?
Well, Tim McDougall already stole my thunder on this one. So as the brief report says, and as Esther McDougall mentioned, representing the Rotary Club of El Cajon, they have made a very generous offer of a very high-quality type of a 4-dial clock, the type of which you would see in a downtown of communities. We have looked about where a likely location might be, and we think there's a good existing landscape area just south of the sidewalk south side of Main Street be visible from the street, which I think is great for the citizens to be able to see. It would also be great as far as protection of vandalism if it's got high visibility on there, and I think it would fit very nicely in there. We've got to figure out some relatively minor details as far as installation and maintenance and that kind of thing. But basically, staff loves the idea, and we're recommending to City Council that you agree to support and accept a donation. We will return back to the City Council, and what I expect will be just a couple of meetings with the final details and when exactly it would be installed and exactly which of those several clocks that we have in your item as far as an example is recommended for choice.
Thanks, Doug. Any speaker cards on this item?
On this item, Mr. Mayor, no speaker cards for this item.
Council, I'll leave it with you.
I saw photos of it, and it looks so good aesthetically. I think it's going to, look amazing. I had a question. Does this one make noise?
I don't know. That's a good question. I've been asked that before. Does it dong on 12? I don't know.
Some of them do, so I was just asking.
We've got the big one over by the Starbucks that rings throughout all of downtown. I don't know if these are not. We'll find out.
All right. Somebody like to make a motion? When seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0, Mayor. Thank you.
Maybe if we had a gong every hour during the night, maybe we'd keep the homeless out of downtown that way.
Are you volunteering to do that
No,
for us, Councilmember?
No, I just thought that we could have the clock do that.
Oh, I see.
We're going back to the old town crier model. Okay. The last administrative report is on item 4.3, grant agreements with Crisis House for funding a housing navigator and distribution of housing assistance funds. Can you please tell us about this?
Certainly, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. This is simply a follow-up agenda item to some homeless strategies that the City Council approved earlier this summer. This is specifically 2 grant agreements that City Council, that is being presented to the City Council with Crisis House. The first grant agreement is for $70,000, and this would fund the housing navigator position. For that $70,000, it would pay for the salary of the position, transportation, office supplies, office equipment, everything that would be entailed to fund that position. They would primarily work with El Cajon homeless individuals. They wouldn't be precluded to work with others, but they would mainly work with those in El Cajon. They would also work closely with our other partner agencies in the region, helping to maximize dollars. So if the homeless navigator, for example, found somebody that was qualified to receive veterans assistance money, they would tap that funding source. If they found somebody that was severely mental or seriously mentally ill, they would tap into the county's program. So this navigator would actually bring more dollars into the city by leveraging our other partners in the region. The second grant agreement is also with Crisis House, is to distribute $80,000 in housing assistance. This grant agreement specifically indicates that only those monies could be used for El Cajon homeless individuals and not anybody else outside of the region, with the goal to house between 20 or up to 25 individuals or families. Both of these pilot programs have given, through the grant agreement, Crisis House as much flexibility as possible to maximize their effectiveness. We've also written into the grant agreement some requirements for some data that typically they don't require, that is typically collected. And the purpose of that is to gather as much policy-driven data or data that can help the council drive some policies into the future to see how effective it is, how effective the program is a year, 6 months after someone has been housed, to really identify what the nature of the problem in El Cajon is. And so there's some additional data that we've requested, and Crisis House is amenable to collecting this data. Staff is here to answer any specific questions about these agreements, and Mr. Jack Miklos of Crisis House is here to answer any questions from their perspective.
Thank you very much. Do we have any speaker cards on this item?
We do, Mayor. We have Mr. Eric Lund for item 4.3, please.
Hi, Eric. Welcome.
Honorable Mayor, City Council members, and staff. I want to thank you for your support, not only this item, but also many other items that we presented at our last East County Homeless Task Force presentation. And again, I hope you will continue to support this. And, you know, it's a huge issue. We all know that. This is a good way to start and do something, I think, about it. And I think leveraging it with other partners in the community, the county, other cities as well. We're going on and talking to other cities also about helping to fund these kinds of positions to help make sure that we get homeless off the streets. I do want to point one thing out, because a lot of people have this question, you know, how many of the homeless are coming from other places, right? And it's about 65 to 70% of the homeless are from our area. So people hit hard luck, they lose their home, they lose their rental, and they find themselves out on the streets. And so I just want people to understand this is going to help people who are from El Cajon, people who are from our region. So thank you very much for your support.
Thank you.
We don't have any other speaker cards, Mayor.
All right. Bob?
Yeah, recently there was an article in the paper that mentioned that through the Veterans Affairs, that the nonprofit Community Housing Works Prevention Program has worked with 240 renter households in about the last 4 years to stop them from getting kicked out of their apartments. Of those, 16 renters still ended up getting evicted, but they were very successful in a number of them. And I wonder if Crisis House is aware of this program, or the task force is aware of this program. I have the article here, so could somebody from Crisis House address that?
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, I'm not aware of that particular article. I am aware that in some funding streams there are prevention dollars set aside that allow organizations to step in and assist to pay arrears of rent so that the individuals can avoid that period of homelessness and remain in their housing. We, as an organization, actually have one for domestic violence through the Governor's Office of Emergency Services that allows us to help retain somebody in their housing so there's not a disruption. It's a good prevention of people coming into the milieu, because so many people get into that homeless situation and find it difficult after periods of time to get out of that. So the process I'm aware of that particular program, not. I know that our SSVF program, our Supported Services for Veteran Families program, has the provision to provide prevention dollars as well.
I wonder if this would be additional help for you. And
we would be much interested in seeing the article and reaching out to the organization.
You can have it, because I don't need it.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Any other questions?
You want it?
Mr. Gold?
A question, and this is with the agreement with Crisis House. Is there anything in there that asks them to keep a record of people who turn down assistance?
Good question.
The agreement does not ask that, but we can certainly, if that's the interest of the council, include that as part of the data that we're requiring.
I think that's an important element, because if we are offering assistance, if we are using the people's money to go out and proactively help people to try to get into these programs, if they turn us down, we need to have a different conversation. So I think it's important to collect that information.
Okay, Gary, and then Ben.
I agree with Councilmember Goebel. I think that's very important information for us to have.
Ben?
I was going to ask the same question. And then, do we know, this is not really related to this, but do we know how many housing navigators the city currently has in El Cajon with other organizations?
0. Eric said
we
0.
We don't have any specifically assigned to El Cajon. The regional task force has a navigator that works within the region, that there's some support. Crisis House has a navigator that focuses on domestic violence that helps. Mr. Miklos probably could help me out here. But there are some regional homeless navigators, but not any specifically assigned to not only El Cajon, but really even East County.
The housing navigator we're referencing as part of this grant is general homeless population presiding in specifically El Cajon, with the realization that there'll be people coming from outlying areas around El Cajon at times too. There is a half-time individual that is funded through the Regional Task Force on the Homeless that works approximately 4 hours a week with Crisis House and 4 hours a week in South County. So we split that individual between the two organizations. As an organization, I have 2 housing navigators completely dedicated to domestic violence survivors, and 1 housing navigator dedicated solely towards a veteran population. So having the experience and the expertise will be an easy support mechanism for this new housing navigator position. Off the top of my head count, there's another organization in East County that does serve the veteran population, and I believe that they probably have at least 1 housing navigator there, but that's just an assumption on my part.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I like this whole idea. I'm interested in all the data that we're going to capture later. I think it's a great idea. You're already in that space, so seems to be pretty good.
I'd like to make suggestions. So the council has showed some interest in collecting some metrics on this. Graham, you're involved. Could we have cede you the authority to work that out between the two of you and then come report about later what the metrics are that you're going to be measuring?
Certainly. We're working with the Regional Task Force on the Homelessness on identifying the best way to present that metrics along with Crisis House. We also are working in collaboration with San Diego State to help us divine that data. We'll be meeting with them on a quarterly basis and receiving quarterly reports. We could report that out to the council.
Councilor, are you comfortable as a group of giving the authority to Graham to monitor that?
I am, definitely.
Any objections? Okay, we'll do that then. And Ben, you had a question?
Well, another thing is when we do hire the housing navigator, how do we, I mean, they're going to hire and we're reimbursing. I guess I should ask you. Are you, is it just, it's like a job opening, or can we also assist in, like almost like an RFP type, because then you can also see where the market is with that. Come next year, after we have our data, how we can get the best person for the job, or, you know.
This is an area that we do not have expertise in. I'm assuming they'll involve us in the hiring process to a certain degree, but ultimately this is their hire. We'll be reimbursing them, but they will be collaborating with us in terms of what we're looking for specifically, and we'll be working with that new person as they are introduced to the community and helping them to meet many of the players.
Yeah, so I guess my let me rephrase it in a different way. So if 70 grand gets us, John, you know, and then come next year and we can put out, we can solicit somebody to get in there for 50 grand, or we can get 20 people that want to do it for 50 grand, then we know where the market is.
You would, I'm not familiar with
you don't have to answer
government
that.
completely. You would probably put out an RFP for a new provider if you were doing that. As far as hiring practices go, if it makes the council comfortable, we do criminal background checks on all of our hires. We vet with past employers. This particular position, we're looking for an individual that is degreed and ideally would hold a master's in social work degree. Would be the ideal candidate, but at the very least, the person would hold a BSW or a bachelor's in social work degree with experience with the homeless population.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
I'd like to take a moment to let everyone know that the San Diego Regional Task Force on the Homeless, the RTFH, has been with us each time this has come up on the agenda. So Megan Dunn is with us today. Megan, if you want to wave, she works with the San Diego Regional Task Force on the Homeless, and I appreciate you representing the task force as we go through these things so you're aware of the issues beyond just El Cajon. So thank you for coming. Thank you for the work you do every day.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. There are no more speaker cards, right?
We don't have any more, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, so I'll leave it to the council,
I'd like to make a motion
please.
to, I guess we start with the first one. I make a motion to, that the city council approve a grant agreement with Crisis House to fund a housing navigator position, and make a motion to, the city council approve a grant agreement with Crisis House to distribute housing assistance funds.
Second.
Make that one motion. Is that fine, Mr. Attorney? Okay, moved and seconded. Please vote.
The motion as articulated by Mr. Goble carries 5-0, Mr. Mayor.
All right, with your indulgence, we'll take a short 5-minute break, and we'll come back and continue.
Mr. Mayor, you got one small item, and then we can go to closed session, I think.
Okay, that's fine. We'll just do that then. Thank you, Mr. City Manager. There are no commissioner reports. Item 6.1 is my activities report as reported. Item 6.2 is a legislative report. Probably the most important thing to report to you is that this afternoon, AB 805, much to my disappointment, was passed by the Assembly and is now on the governor's desk, and we will continue our lobbying efforts with the governor, and I will continue to inform you as we progress in this matter.
Question on that.
Yeah.
If the law passes, is there any way that we can, since we won't have any voice, that we can drop out of Sandag?
There's a lot of discussion about what can be done, and I think it's a little premature.
I'm just wondering.
We will probably not be without options.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, very good.
Keep our powder dry for the moment, though. Okay. We are now at activity report of council members. Councilmember Kendrick.
As reported.
Mayor Pro Tem McClellan.
Yes, I have two questions for the donation of the 60 mattresses to El Cajon Transitional Living Center. We were going to give a commendation to Jerry Navarro. How are we doing on
Next meeting, they could not make this meeting.
Okay, well, tell him I'm sorry I won't be there. Also, the El Cajon Transitional Living Center received $20,000 grant from the Grossmont Healthcare District. I'd like to give them a commendation also to buy a new vehicle. So that would be, when somebody does something like that, we ought to give them a pat on the back. So if we could pursue that. I have an article, the article if you need it. Do you want the article? Okay, good. Thank you.
Anything else on your activities report, Bob?
The rest is as reported, but I'd like to see those two commendations take place.
Councilmember Colascio.
As I reported them in a comment, I've been working with the property owner on the vacant huge property, Magnolia and Madison, and it's very, very close to being bought out by San Ysidro Medical, so that should be something to look forward to, because that property has been vacant for ad nauseum.
Councilmember Goebel.
As reported with two changes, I need to strike attendance on November 9th, and I need to add attendance September 7th for a law enforcement appreciation dinner, which was very impactful.
And the 9th, was that September as well?
It was September as well.
All right, thank you. There are no joint council member reports. There are no general information items for discussion and no first or second readings of ordinances. That brings us to closed session. We have 3 items for closed session this evening. Mr. City Attorney, will you please recite the closed session items and lead us into the closed session?
Thank you, Mayor. The items are item 15.1. It's a conference with legal counsel on existing litigation pursuant to paragraph 1 of subdivision D of Government Code section 54956.9. That's involving this case of the City of El Cajon versus 905 West Main LLC and others. We are not going to be attending a closed session on 15.2, so the other item is 15.3, conference with legal counsel, existing litigation pursuant to paragraph 1 of subdivision D of section 54956.9. The case name is Hauser versus City of El Cajon.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion then to adjourn the closed session. Moved and seconded, please vote.
Motion carries 5-0 to adjourn to closed session, Mayor. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will reconvene after closed session.
Okay. We'll keep it for the record. Thank you, sir.
Council members, the City Council met in closed session on two items. Item 15.3 was a conference with legal counsel for existing litigation, Hauser versus the City of El Cajon. The City Council gave direction to our legal counsel. And item 15.1 was a conference with legal counsel on existing litigation, in this case, the City of El Cajon versus 905 West Main LLC. The City Council approved a settlement agreement with the defendant, 905 West Main LLC, and the defendant, Fred Jaju. It's pending approval by all sides, but it will result in a resolution of this case.
Thank you. We are now at adjournment. The regular joint meeting of the El Cajon City Council, El Cajon Housing Authority successor agency, the El Cajon Redevelopment Agency, held this 12th day of September 2017, is adjourned till this evening, September 12th at 7 o'clock p.m.
If I may, Mayor, there was one item of general information that's listed. I don't know if it needed to be recited, but I just want to make a note of it because it's listed on the agenda. Thank you.
All right, duly noted. Thank you.